33 of our hostages have returned home so far under this framework brought forth by Prime Minister Netanyahu and President Trump, with the release of 20 of our living hostages and the remains of 13 of our deceased hostages. It's been 8 days, and what was supposed to be the release of all of our hostages at one time has not come to fruition. This was a commitment that was made under the first phase of this plan by all parties, but Hamas has not upheld their side of the agreement. We are demanding the release of our remaining 15 deceased hostages that are still in captivity. Prime Minister Netanyahu reiterated these words in the Knesset yesterday, that Israel is committed to bringing them all back home, every last one of them, and he explained these are not empty words. This is a promise he made from day one of this war, and it's a promise he will see through until the end. The Prime Minister is continuing to hear the stories of survival from our returned living hostages. One of them recently from Rome Braslavsky, who was at the Nova Music Festival on that Saturday morning. Rome, who was working security at the festival, used his body to shield participants who were massacred on that day. He was kidnapped by terrorists into Gaza, with his captors repeatedly pressuring him to convert to Islam. The Prime Minister echoes the words of Rome, who looked his captors in the eyes and said, "I am a Jew, I am strong, I will not break." As Israel continues to uphold its side of the ceasefire plan after Hamas blatantly violated it by attacking us and killing 2 of our soldiers 2 days ago and crossing into our soldiers' yellow line position in Gaza, the Prime Minister said Hamas immediately felt the weight of Israel's hand after its series of airstrikes and hitting dozens of terror targets inside of the Gaza Strip. Now, we, of course, are now back in a ceasefire position. We maintain that line and have now physically marked the yellow line in Gaza to establish tactical clarity on the ground. The IDF has marked the line with a concrete barrier with a pole painted yellow standing 3.5 meters high. The concrete barriers are being placed every 200 meters apart from each other. Prime Minister Netanyahu made it clear from the beginning. The ceasefire is not a license for Hamas to threaten us, and aggression against us has and will pay a very heavy price. We've had it with the breaches of the ceasefire. We will enforce it. Our heroic soldiers will defend us if a threat arises. Now, in coordination with President Trump, Hamas's military and governing power will be destroyed, as laid out in the 20-point plan. Now, let me fill you in on some of the details of Vice President J.D. Vance and Second Lady Usha Vance's visit here to Israel. They've officially arrived here about midday Israel time. The Prime Minister is hosting an official welcome ceremony event at the Prime Minister's office in Jerusalem around 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Now, after that, a personal meeting will take place between the Prime Minister and Vice President Vance. And following that, their teams will also meet. The Prime Minister is scheduled to meet with the Vice President to discuss mainly 2 things: the security challenges before us and the political opportunities that lie ahead. The Prime Minister says together, with the tightest ever bond between Jerusalem and the White House and between the Prime Minister and President Trump, they will face the challenges against us that our nations face and unite to maximize opportunities for peace with our neighbors, both in our neighborhood and further afield. Together, and the policy of the Prime Minister is that peace is made through strength, not weakness. Israel is stronger than ever today, and so is our renewed partnership with the United States and President Trump, which has never been closer and tighter than what it is today. The Prime Minister and his team also met with the head of Egyptian intelligence today here in Jerusalem. They discussed advancing President Trump's framework, Israel-Egypt relations, and strengthening the peace between the 2 countries and additional regional issues as well. It is also Prime Minister Netanyahu's birthday today, so we want to wish him a very happy birthday. And to see a raw, unfiltered, and personal side of the Prime Minister, we want you to follow our new Instagram account at PM Press Office. That is at PM Press Office. That will feature behind-the-scenes content here in the Prime Minister's office and also a direct line of communication with the Prime Minister himself. We have been inundated with questions from people around the world for the Prime Minister, especially from Iranians who see Israel as a sign of hope in the Middle East. I'll now take a few questions.